What's up, guys? Good morning. It's Jonathan with One Big Impact. I want to talk about your journey real quick. And the specific thing that I want to say about your journey is, first of all, I'm going to adapt something to my journey, but also give you a couple analogies so that you can understand exactly what I mean in the respect of taking the easy road. Now, a lot of us will initially, including myself, will initially get great results, we'll work really hard, and we'll get everything that we're shooting for as far as our healthy journey is concerned. And we will begin to, whether it's lose weight, fit better in our clothes, hit our goals, whatever. And then sometimes we start honing in our goals and we get a little bit closer and a little bit closer. Or even the other thing is, maybe you've done this before. Maybe you've been on a healthy journey before and you're trying to adapt mentally to that journey. Well, first of all, you have to remember, this journey is its own journey. It has no, and it is the worst thing you can never do is look back and say, hey, I did this before, it worked before, and you should keep adapting to that. You're not the same person you were 5, 10, 15 years ago, or even a year ago. Okay, you're a new person, you have new struggles. Obviously, if what you did before worked, you wouldn't be back in the same position. So something failed, okay? Whether it was your mentality, whether it was your self-discipline, whether it was your emotional stress, whether it was being overwhelmed in life, or depression, or a separation, or something changed, okay? Something changed about you. Now, that's good. And the reason that's good is because it is a fresh journey. It is a new thing. There are amazing new things to find out. Now, think about it. Like, if it was the same journey and the same boring stuff and the same this and the same that, it would be just blah. So it's cool that you are a new you and you're working on this new journey. Now, that being said, stop trying to take the easy road. If you did something before that worked, and say you're doing lots of cardio, you're working really hard to your goals and all of these things, that is going to be the path of most resistance. You're constantly resisting, whether it's lifting weights or you're doing treadmill or you're meal prepping, that is resistance, because what would be the opposite of that? Basically just going and sit on the couch, being lazy, doing nothing, taking the path of least resistance, ordering a pizza, you picked up your hand, you fell asleep. That was literally the path of least resistance. The path of most resistance, paying for the oil change, would have yielded the best results, right? I mean, that's not always the case. I know people, and this can adapt to anything. So for instance, like yesterday, I have had it in my mind, $100 is a lot of money for me. And that's not what I had in my mind. I have had it in my mind that if I can save a few bucks, I do, okay? And it's not because I want to necessarily, it's because it's a necessity, I have to. If I can find a motorcycle battery, exactly what I'm talking about, if I can find a motorcycle battery for $50 or $70 or $80 rather than $105 or $120, then I do, because unfortunately that is a ton of money. That's like a third of my month's income, okay? Now, that being said, I drove around to 5 different Walmarts yesterday. I drove around to 5 different Walmarts. You guys say it's my favorite store. It's not. Okay, but I go there a lot, okay? Bookstores are actually my favorite because they're so full of knowledge and just amazing things, and it's kind of a place to reset your mind. Now, mind you, every first Walmart I go to, you know, I take gas, I drive my busted car there, I get the wrong battery, I go back to the house, I ended up with the wrong battery because I didn't take the battery that was originally in the bike with me, and then I ended up with the wrong battery. It was a mess. I go back, return it. They say it's going to be 3 to 5 days before this can go back on your card, or you can use a gift card. We could put it on a gift card. And I said, okay, well, if I don't find a battery at Walmart, at a different Walmart, because I was going to go to a different one, then can we return that to my card? She goes, no, once it's on the gift card, it's on a gift card. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I used emergency credit card money, $100 that I had on there. Now I'm screwed. I'm going to be stuck with this. I said, give me the gift card. because I don't have time. I have literally one day, and my mom said I can't use her car anymore, and it was like a disaster. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't miss training. I have to be here to train people. So, and I have to get to the gym to train myself. So I got to get the bike fixed. Go to the next Walmart. Boom! Right when I walk in, same exact battery. My battery is right there. I couldn't believe it. It wasn't even in a box. It was already charged. It was like perfect. I walked up to the guy and I said, is this even possible? He said, yeah, that's a 14, that's a 14. I go, why do I feel like it shouldn't be that easy? Because I look in the book and it says a different number. And he goes, oh, hold on. He goes, the polarities are reversed. He goes, there's positive on that side, negative on that side. Bike's really small. There's no way, as far as like tight spaces and stuff, there's no way to switch the cords or anything like that. So I'm like, okay, well, spent 2 hours at Walmart trying to figure out, hey, I need to get this battery lead extension. I need to get this corrosion-free nut, and I need to get, and I'm going through like mental collapse trying to figure all this out, right? And I'm figuring all this out, and I'm working through this, and I'm figuring out what exactly I got to do. So I get all the stuff, I get electrical tape and this and that, and I'm like, man, I'm going to end up having to rig this and put extensions on this, and it's going to look like crap, blah, 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 blah. I couldn't find the nut that I needed at Walmart. This is the nut at Walmart. So what do? I go to AutoZone. I'm like, AutoZone's going to have it. I need a really short nut because it's a small space. I don't want to get home and it's too big and it can't fit in the space and everything. So I buy the new battery, the battery that is close, and I go to AutoZone, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to look at their batteries just for shits and giggles. So mind you, I'm trying to save money. That's why I go to Walmart. The battery is $95 at Walmart. I go in there to AutoZone, and I go, you know what? I'm just going to check batteries before I look for the nut and see how much it costs. I go up there, and I look at the battery. He gives me the thing, and I go, I guarantee this is a battery. I already found it. And he looks it up, and he goes, yep, sure enough, that's a battery. It's $105. And I go, crap, I got to do this. I got to do this because this would save me time. This would save me money. It would save me a hassle of trying to rig my bike and potentially have issues and stuff like that. So he goes, don't worry about it. I'll give you 10% off. It ends up being like $92. It's cheaper than the 3 batteries I had bought over the last 2 weeks at Walmart's and Amazon trying to save money. I get home, pop the battery in, fits great, no issues, started it up. I'm at work on the motorcycle. What I'm saying is, just because something's a little bit harder or you have to fork out of money, it doesn't always mean that it's going to be massive resistance. It doesn't always mean just because you have to do your cardio, you have to continue it, you have to continue your exercise program, you have to continue meal prepping. Just because those things are difficult does not mean it's like something that you can't do. As humans, we naturally take the path of least resistance. But if you stop taking the path of most resistance, like I did with the battery, and I said, no, I could save money, I could save money, I could save money, I could save money, oil change, I could save money, I could save money. At the end of the day, what happened with those two exact analogies? Now, granted, that's a motorcycle and that's a car, but they are adaptable to your healthy journey. Well, I'll tell you what happened if you haven't figured it out. What happened was I completely screwed myself. Should have just taken the car in, get the oil change, relax, chill on my phone, on Facebook for an hour. Same thing, I should have just went to freaking AutoZone and bought the better battery that fits my bike, that's designed for the bike, instead of going to 5 Walmarts, waiting for 2 weeks for shipping, this and that, having a bad battery sent to me, having to send it back, waiting for the refund on Amazon, this and that. It's the same thing, you guys. You get to your healthy, your happy place, and you're like, oh, I want to start reincorporating foods. Okay, cool. I get it, if that's what you want to do. I'm going to tell you, that's the path of least resistance. It's really, really, really important that you keep that resistance on you, okay? You are maintaining, but you have to remember, taking least resistance, relaxing on your workout plans, adding in foods, not getting as strict as you were once that got you where you are today. I'm saying this because a lot of you guys are going to start hitting your goals, or you're within reach of your goals, or you're at your goals, or maybe you're a little beyond it. Then your mind starts to wander. Your mind says, it starts to get overconfident. I got this. I could do this. It's just like the oil change. I got this. I could do this. In reality, if I would have slowed down, probably could have. And it's the same type of thing. You can probably reincorporate foods. You can probably switch your workout routine. You can probably not go as crazy, but you have to be consistent. You have to keep going. You can't say, I really used to love lasagna. Now I'm going to start eating lasagna again. I really used to love eating pizzas on Friday nights. I'm going to start eating pizzas on Friday nights. Go ahead. Friday's going to turn into Wednesday. Wednesday's going to turn into Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Sunday, and you're freaking screwed. Reevaluate your plan when you get closer to your goals, but you also have to keep that tension, that tensile strength on there. If you don't continue to grow, you at the very least become stagnant. At the very most, you end up worse than where you were. You really have to focus on these things. You have to continue to progress. I don't care if it's progressing with weights. I don't care if it's progressing with setting yourself goals. I don't care what it is. Stop trying to take the path of least resistance, because obviously, as I just explained to you, the path of least resistance really is not the path of least resistance. It's our minds trying to relax and take that path of, quote, least resistance, but in all actuality, it's going to get you in a bigger, harder, more difficult situation, back where you were, and then you're going to see the most resistance, because you're going to have to start all over. Don't get yourself into that situation. You guys, keep up the good work. Please always take into consideration what you're eating, what you're doing, what your goals are, and when you reach your goals or you get within reach of them, if you don't understand why you're not moving, it's probably because you haven't reset your mind. A lot of us will become complacent. I lost 10 pounds. Cool. I'm good. Guess what? If you say, cool, I'm good, and you just sit there, I promise you, you're going to end up right where you were. What's the definition of insanity? I don't even know if it's the actual definition, but everybody says the definition of insanity is doing the same thing, expecting a different result. Where you're probably thinking, well, I'm not doing the same thing. I'm exercising, I'm meeting my goals, I'm doing this. Right, I know you are, and you're doing good. But you might be in a place right now where you're thinking, I can start incorporating, I can start doing this. I can chill out, I can relax. But isn't that exactly what you did before that got you in that position that you've so tried hard to get out of? That would be the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing that you did before, or slowly getting back to that, is what you don't want to do. You have to focus on going this way, okay? Don't go back. Don't start saying, I can start incorporating this, I can start incorporating that. You could, in theory you could, okay? But how long have you been doing this? Has it been a week? Has it been a month? Has it been a year? How long did you eat like crap? How long did it take you to gain that 50 pounds? Have you been overweight your whole life? So you're telling me you lost 50 pounds in a couple years, but you've always struggled with weight for the last 40 years. You've always been overweight, really never knew anything about nutrition or exercise, and then suddenly you are all high on your horse, and you think after 2 years, you're confident, that you can start incorporating some of those foods in a, quote, different way. Or you can start not doing as much exercise because you're happy with where you are. Okay? Well, I'm not saying you have to wake up and try to go run a marathon. But what I'm saying is you have to continue to move forward. Stop moving backwards. Don't let your mind creep in and say, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is okay. That is the path of least resistance. And like I said, You're over here, you met your goals. This is the path of most resistance, where you were. And if you say least resistance, least resistance, least resistance, least resistance, least resistance, you're going to be at the same damn position in no time, or worse, at the path of most resistance, trying to get back again. That is what yo-yo dieting is about. We're not about that. It's about a changed mind, a changed lifestyle, and you have to know that you're continual progression. You guys keep up the good work. Be stronger than your excuses. Remember to spread love, not hate. Thank you so much for watching. Have a beautiful day and have a beautiful and amazing week. And don't take the path of least resistance, because it's a lie. It's the path of most resistance.